SFE, baby. 25 on the bike this morning. I'm going to do some more later, I think. We'll see. But I just feel incredible. Incredible. And it's a whole lot of SFE. Guys, get the book. For what Jerry said, the best book ever written on the subject of trumpet and brass. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. The tongue controls everything. I go back to this every now and then, as you know, because this is the cornerstone of the whole thing. It really is. So we'll go over what's in the book, 3 rules, and how the tongue controls everything. All right? All right. Let's see what we got. The first notes of the day. That bodes well, guys. Feels turbocharged. And it is. The incredible thing, we'll talk about it when I come back over. There's hardly any air. Okay? Little watermelon juice for a job well done. Anyway, so here we are. The tongue controls everything. Guys, as you know, I refuse to use the term tongue-controlled embouchure because I just did. Like I just did. Maybe I'll get back to it later, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Because there's several yahoos, 2 in particular, that claim to be teaching the tongue-controlled embouchure and have no idea what they're talking about. One in particular never even studied with Jerry. One in particular, believe it or not, is supposed to be a Jerry disciple, but is selling his own piece of crap mouthpiece. Just just a piece of garbage. Now, how can you be a Jerry disciple knowing that the 1SB is right there and you're not pushing? Guys, you can't make this up. Now, I'm not getting into it. One more thing. From what I can tell, and once every, I don't know, a year or something, I check their YouTube channels. And from what I can tell, they're all but out of business. I mean, they don't post anything. They sound like hell. I can't believe they're doing anything professionally. And that's that. But anyway, the tongue controls everything. Now, as all of you know, in the last 6 months to a year, my range has taken a significant jump. Okay? And what I am basically doing, I am going back, well, basically nothing. What I am literally doing is I am going back to the 3 rules. Relax the corner, proper tongue position, and as little air as possible. So what I'm trying to do before I sit down for any, or do anything, I try to go over in my mind, relax the corners even more, which will allow my tongue to get even thicker than it is now, which will allow me to get incredible tone, power, range, and endurance with less air. They all work together. Okay? If you are tightening your corners, the tongue can't be in the right position. Okay? If you are overblowing, all your good intentions with the relaxed corner, you're just blowing it away. So they do work together, but at the end of the day, guys, the tongue is the control. All right? Now, when you play, depending on what register it is, what you have to do is you play by feel. And that is the $1,000,000 question, guys. The $1,000,000 question. I can't describe feel. I can't literally make you, by my words or my demonstration, make you feel literally what I'm feeling when I play. I compare it many times to a toothache. You can explain to me what your toothache is, but it's not going to make me feel what you're feeling. Well, you know, it's this throbbing, pounding pain that emanates through the, you know, you're not going to make me feel it. All right, it's the same thing. If Maynard Ferguson or Maurice Andre could literally, by telling us, make us feel what it feels like when Maurice is playing the Brandenburg Concerto, there'd be Maurice Andre's just littering the streets. But that is the question. That is why I incorporate the kettlebell, incorporate the SFE to try to get you a different way to feel the compression and the way I feel. Okay? Now, as I said, the tongue controls the whole thing. I had a student, first-time student, just the other day. And he says, well, how do I keep the corners relaxed? Guys, there's only one way to do it. And that's with the proper tongue position, and I'll go over it again. Guys, there's no other way it's going to happen. If the tongue isn't right, there's no chance in God's green earth that you keep those chops relaxed. None. You can't do it with Claude Gordon. Nope. I'm not going to go over it again. I just did Claude Gordon the other day. It has to be the tongue. Okay? Now, if this is your teeth, and that's the tip of your tongue, the tip of the tongue is through the teeth on every note you play, and it doesn't move. This is gone. Toot, 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 toot. Okay? This is all gone. The snake is gone forever. Which means you are going to have to articulate, hang on, up farther on the tongue. Okay? Which you don't even have to think about. It's been my experience, and I've had over 3,000 students, guys. As long as the tongue is in the right place, the articulation takes care of itself. That's all done with the middle of the tongue. All right? Now, if that's your bottom lip, the tongue goes into the soft inner red of the bottom lip and pushes. There was, all you Jerry heads out there that study with Jerry will say there was maybe a month, 6 weeks, where he literally tried to have the tongue through the lips. You know, I suppose it can work, but at the end of the day it didn't. Okay? But into the soft inner red of the bottom lip. Now, it is not way down there. We tried that too, thinking that that thick bottom lip would just form a pad that you couldn't hurt. And to a certain degree, that worked. Okay? But the tongue was just so locked it couldn't move. Multiple tonguing was almost impossible if the tongue's way down there. Okay? So it's right at the tip. And guys, you control everything with that tip. I'm telling you guys, my gold octave rips, excuse me, my tongue is barely moving. It's just creating the compression. Now, barely any air at all, and the chops are relaxed. Okay, I do it all the time. Name one other player, Vacchiano, Broyles, Maynard, anybody, Jerry, that would allow somebody to yank at their chops, the corners, while they are playing, and the spit buzz isn't affected one bit. That is how little the corners are in play. The corners are how little. They're not at all. They're not in play. All right? Guys, that's it. As long as the tongue is in the right place and you're not overblowing, the overblowing can ruin even the greatest of intentions. But as long as that tongue is in the right position, it is close to impossible to stretch. Now, I'm going to let you go. But I want you to do this one thing. Without even spit buzzing, take your tongue and press it hard against the bottom lip. Now, while you're doing that, try to stretch the corners. It's almost impossible to do. You have to try to do it. It's almost impossible. The tongue controls everything. All right? All right. Love you all. Talk again tomorrow.